This is gross.
Oh my God, I just hired my first fucking robot.
Yeah.
I'm part of the fucking problem.
That's it, man. You're the reason we're all gonna die.
Yep,
No.
it's me. This is how Skynet starts. All right, man. Nate Marshall, how you been of the Panties in the Mouth podcast? Crazy name.
Pat, you look great, by the way. I've been not saying it this whole time. You look like you're in great shape, man.
Oh, thank you very much. I appreciate it. I feel like a tub of shit because I've been eating the way I was when I was exercising a lot. Not exercising a lot.
Yeah.
And I'm like, it's not even during the intermittent fasting part, but I let me just accept the compliment and say thank you very much.
There you go.
I saw it in your face too when I said it. It wasn't, you looked like, is he fucking with me?
Yeah. I was like, oh, here it comes. Here it comes. But I appreciate that. You look good too, man. I like the more hair. You have the mane where I've done the more.
You did the opposite, yeah.
I did the woolly willy. I just took all the hair off here and I put it up here.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna just see how far I can go with this. I think I'm gonna try to come out of this with dreads. Be one of those guys.
Hell yeah.
You said you said you've been missing comedy a lot. How long into it were you still able to do comedy before you all the shows were shut down?
The last show I did was the show you came up here and did actually was Pet Shop. It was the 11th, and then that Friday, that was a Wednesday, and then that Friday they basically shut everything down.
Ugh.
So
God damn.
Yeah, it was 5 weeks yesterday.
Oh man.
Which is 5 times. I want to say 5 times the longest I've gone without doing stand up. I did go 3 weeks once, but I dislocated my knee.
Oh.
Yeah.
And I still tried and then I was like, this is dumb. I can't. I gotta stay home.
Yeah, it's one of those things that I'm okay with. I've kind of been preserving my energy. Because it's funny because we were talking about it with Andy and we even talked about it with Lemaire, people you guys were talking about what was it? People that were in that are just started making a living off comedy.
Yeah, the class above you guys.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Right now, and it was we all kind of still have a day job or we have other things or other plans essentially.
Yeah.
You guys are still hustling.
Wives that make all the money.
We're all still being taken care of.
Yeah. Oh, that's really what it is. Okay.
Dude, a loophole. A loophole where they're like, hey, yeah, your student loans, don't worry about them right now. You can still get a tax return. We're like, really?
Yep. I got my Trump money yesterday, and right now I was gonna say I'm flush, but I paid a bunch of stuff. I paid all the bills. Yeah, I gotta pay, so it's gone. But
but the bills are paid.
But the bills are paid. I mean, they've been paid. Everybody when somebody's asked me if they're like, "Yo, how you doing? You good?" I'm like, "Yeah, my girlfriend's still working, so we're fine." Life hasn't. I have more time to play video games now. Is I guess the main thing.
Yeah. I think my there you still have an outlet. You still have the podcast. You still have some kind of comedic thing.
Yeah.
I miss stand up, but I still
It's been fun navigating this.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's
it's
weird.
stressful. It is stressful and it's weird, but it's kind of everybody's in the same boat, so you just kind of do what you want.
Yeah, exactly.
Just whatever fits you, which is kind of cool because you get to. Huh?
Do you have on cat ears?
Yeah. Duh. We're in the caddick.
I don't know what I would have thought, but I don't know. It's because they're clear. I never noticed it this much, but
yeah. They're like these cheap ass headphones we found at I don't even remember where that was.
I don't know.
We bought them. They're $4.99 or something like that.
Gabe's maybe?
Yeah, maybe Gabe's or some shit.
Yeah.
They're cool as hell though.
Yeah. And they only fit her head. They would never fit my head.
No, yeah. These are my headphones.
But yeah. I think it's as long as you have some kind of cool creative, like you said, being able to do something else. I was really, like I said, I was really into I have gotten into shape by finding an exercise that I like.
Yeah.
And when they took that away, I was just man, like, is there anything that this coronavirus won't
He was so
do?
hard to live with for like 2 days because he could
Dude, I
not
was
do
practicing-
jujitsu. I was like, oh my God, this gym needs to fucking open because I don't know if I can handle a lockdown with him not being able to. He's finally like realized like, okay, this is,
It's a real thing.
It's a
Waking
pandemic.
up at 6 a.m. with no one to choke out.
Yeah, yes. Like he gets up at 4 a.m. to choke people out. He loves it.
Yeah. And like to have that, like even that routine, and then like finally get into something that like I said, where I can still eat like a piece of shit, but
Yeah.
I can work out, which is really just practicing choking out my friends,
Yeah.
before the sun comes up. And I don't have those things anymore, but all the places are still open for takeout.
Yeah.
I was practicing Thai clenches on her, and I was showing her how to land a Thai knee.
Yeah.
Like where you like clench your
I was like,
fingers.
what's
behind
wrong?
your
I was
head.
like, do you want to smash my face in? Like, why are you doing this? And he was like, you just put the
I was
knee
like, it's really
to
a lot
the
of hip.
teeth.
It's a lot of hip.
I'm like, oh my God, he's gonna kill me.
You want to go to the body, you can still hold them like this, but you like clamp their neck with your arms. You know what I mean?
And you're just showing this all full force.
Yeah, yeah.
Unencumbered.
I'm getting like,
yeah.
When you wake up, I'll show you the rest.
yeah, yes, exactly.
Quit faking.
Quit faking.
Get
Wake
it.
up, wake up.
It's almost dinner time. Come on, get up.
Oh my God, yeah. I
How
can't
long?
wait.
You were doing that like 2 years now, right? The jiu-jitsu?
No, actually,
Not
just over a year.
oh yeah, yeah.
Oh.
You just hit a
over
year, yeah.
All right, that makes me feel good. That makes me feel like time's not going as fast as I thought.
No.
I thought I was like, once I hit 30, I was like, this is it. I'm feeling it. I'm feeling the
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
Time moves a lot quicker now.
It does.
I fucked up this J I'm rolling. That's why I keep looking down.
You're fine.
It's okay.
No
Yeah.
worries.
No, it's well, it's one of those things you never know where to look. Like I want to act like I'm getting eye contact with you,
But you're
like,
not.
Yeah.
but it would be here, and I'm not
Yeah.
looking at you, so I don't know what you're doing really. Because I keep
That's
looking
true.
up here.
That's true.
We're
Oh,
getting used to it.
I was going to ask you guys, have y'all been ordering out a lot? Like you said, you have, I guess, right? You've been ordering out more. I was scared to.
Yeah, we really haven't done it. Only I would say the last.
Once the stimulus check came in, like
My eyes came yesterday, and then I got Domino's, and then I took the shit I took right before this podcast.
Yeah.
you know what we talked about with Lemaire for a while last night?
What?
Yes.
Shit.
Domino's.
Domino's?
Yeah.
We were talking about pizza. We were talking about what's your favorite, because we were talking about what we wanted for dinner. We ended up going to Popeyes actually last night.
Yeah. Wait
And-
for 45. We had to wait in line for 45 minutes.
Yeah.
45 minutes.
Yeah, those
Yeah.
spicy
That's
chicken
normal,
sandwiches
though.
are so good.
That was
It's
before
so
the
worth
pandemic.
it.
The service there is terrible. I mean, it's,
Oh, it's awful. Who cares?
This is for you.
yeah. I think. Have you had the spicy chicken sandwich? Yeah, that's
Yeah,
fucking.
but not by choice. I avoided it for a long time. Julia came home with it once, and I was like, well, I got it now.
Yeah.
Well,
like-
I mean,
The second run of them. But
Yeah.
did you ever watch Boondocks, the show?
Yeah.
yeah.
There's an episode where like a place got like they had this special chicken and everybody went crazy for it, and then everybody started dying from the chicken flu. and that's what I thought was going. I was like, man,
Yeah.
I actually said to like my brother or something. I was like, the coronavirus is just the chicken flu. Took a while.
Yeah.
to start,
Yeah,
but-
definitely. Yeah, but we went second, like after the riots.
Yeah.
Once the riots calmed
calmed
down, then we were like, oh, let's go check out this chicken sandwich.
And even like a couple days after they were like, we're back. We're
Yeah,
like,
you still waited.
yeah.
That's how I'm
Okay.
gonna treat the coronavirus. Like,
Yep.
when they're like, you're back, you can come out. And I'm like, all right, I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna give it 2
Yep.
weeks.
Yeah.
see what the
Yeah, you say
dying
it's
off.
good. All right, 2 more weeks.
I did that with like even for like the longest time. Actually, that's the first time we've been to that one in forever.
Yeah.
For
We
the
usually go
longest
to
time,
Lancaster.
we go to Lancaster, to like
Yeah.
the whitest part of Lancaster to go to go to that
bougie
Popeyes. Yeah,
Yes.
Because I was like, that's the only place that we don't have to wait 500 fucking like
Yeah.
people. Like there's
Yeah.
there's
It's
3
always-
cars that are just sitting still for 50 minutes.
You guys have to go to the white Wawa. Popeyes for the not take all day.
Yep.
Yeah. Because I'm like, it's one of those things of like, like I know that, like I knew that going last night when she was like,
Yeah.
I want Popeyes. I was like, all right, we need to leave now. I said,
Yeah.
they close at 9:30. She's like, it's like 7. And I was like, yeah.
We gotta go now.
And I swear to God, it's like one of those things where, when it's the person right before you and they go up to the window and you see the manager like peek their head out and go.
And like look back.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh fuck, what are they saying?
I was like, what if they're out?
I always listen to their order. I'm like,
what if they're out of the chicken sandwich?
yeah, because if they're like,
and they're just stalling because they don't know how to tell everybody that they're out of the chicken sandwich.
You don't like it that much? I thought it was okay.
I think it's the sauce, honestly, that I love. It's so spicy. I can't get a spicy because that is my go-to sandwich at most. Like if we go to Wendy's,
yeah, definitely.
If we go to McDonald's, like I want the spicy chicken sandwich always. And that one is just so spicy. Like I think that's really for me, anyways.
Yeah, they got good spicy wings too. I like if I go.
They're blackened chicken wings or tenders, whatever. Yeah.
If I go to Popeyes, it's like it's just the wings that are the best thing for me. I got that sandwich. I also think I got a bad version of that sandwich. Like I don't.
Could have.
It wasn't that crispy, and I was like, this can't be what all the hype is about. But it was bad enough that I was like, I'm not getting another one.
Yeah. You're like, I'm not gonna give it another shot.
And that had to have been like old, or that had to have been like they fucked something up, like you said, like it was like the breading, or like it was they fucked something up somewhere, and they ruined your experience. And I'm so sorry for that.
But see, I love it so much, I'll eat it cold. Like he would go record proper phonics.
Yeah.
I'm home, and I'm like, on your way home, can you bring me home a chicken sandwich? And it's a 45-minute drive, and I'm like, this is delicious. Thank you so much.
And I would buy 2, and I would eat one on the way home.
Yeah. and eat one,
and then one with her.
You'd have your secret to buy it.
Yes.
I would throw the wrapper in like the dumpster, like when I parked. I would
but see, how I found out was he didn't do that, and the next day I was like, "There's a sandwich wrapper in here." He's like, "Yeah, I had one on the way home." I was like, "Oh." Okay.
And you're like, "But we also had one together." Like, we added it all up.
Did you have fries too? Yeah.
Yep. I had fries
and a
too.
drink.
2 back-to-back meals.
Bang bang.
Bang bang.
Did a bang bang. Did y'all watch that special?
No, not yet. I haven't actually. I forgot about that. That was another thing we could do. We're running low on. We're almost through our rewatch of Parks and Rec.
Yeah.
We've done We've done a couple rewatches. I'm about over fucking Ozark at this point.
Yeah. Oh, you're done. I'm about to go back into it. I got 7 episodes in when the first season came out, and then just fell off.
Oh man, it's gonna be hard for you, man. If you weren't hyped by the first, I liked the first season.
I thought it was good, but the thing was, like, I was trying to watch it with Julia, and she wasn't into it. So you know how that goes. Like, if I'm trying to watch something together, and then it's like, well, all right, we'll find something else. And I just never went back solo.
Yeah. It's one of those things. The second season, I like I said, at the beginning of this season, she was like, "Do you want to watch it?" And I was like, to be honest with you, I don't remember anything from last season at all. And I was like, so yeah, whatever, it doesn't matter. And I'm like, oh, they're still alive. This is cool, whatever. But it's still the same thing. I said it was always the boring parts of Breaking Bad.
Mm-hmm.
Like if they would have just gotten a divorce, it would have been over so much sooner. It should have just gotten a divorce. She should have listened to her fucking husband. Like,
Yeah.
I know more than you. I mean, I know that we have everything we have because of, the way you figured out to work this drug business, but I know more than you, pal. Like, I don't know.
She's figuring
like
it
it's
out.
that kind of stuff. I don't like feelings. We tried to rewatch True Blood. Have you ever seen True Blood?
No, I can't.
I read the book, so I was super excited when they turned that into a show. So we watched
vampire thing, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
On HBO. Yeah.
And what were you saying about it?
And so excited. I loved the show. I mean, there were some seasons that it was like it sucked. But then we tried to rewatch it, and I'm like, this show is awful. And I loved this. Like, I loved the first episode, and then just watching it again, I was like, oh my God, this is awful.
It was terrible.
I was like, okay, we're not watching this.
I get when there's like multiple episodes where like just one character is like most of their scenes, they're just crying. I'm like, you're wasting my time.
Oh, so it was like what was that vampire movie? Oh, Twilight.
Yeah.
The show.
She's talking about a
and it was-
rewatch.
Well,
Yeah.
it's
I'm gonna be up here.
it's the adult version, so there's lots and lots of sex and
so it's
like
they're,
yeah.
they're hot vampires, but
Yeah.
actually having sex, not just
Yes, they're like
dating. Okay.
yeah. They're not like, oh, we're holding hands.
There's still
the
feelings.
tension is so high.
Yeah, there's still feelings, but it's not like it's not only feelings. There's also like there's tits, there's dicks.
There's
There's lots of
there's
everything.
dicks and tits. All right.
Well, that was how I tried to get you to watch Game of Thrones.
Yeah, I didn't.
We were like,
I
there's
hated
sex.
Game of Thrones.
There's lots of boobs, and he's like, no.
You lucked up by not getting into it though. Like
Yeah.
I fell in, watched it, and then I'm assuming you got disappointed at the end too, Dom. Or did you?
I was fine. I just had no expectations. Like I know with that stuff, like you're not gonna please everybody. But the one thing that I was so happy was the when winter finally came, they nailed that episode. That episode was so good, and that's from the first sentence in the first episode. They talk about winter is coming. So they talk about it the entire series. So to have that, I was like, that's worth it. Like that's worth the whole thing.
I love that. See, I loved and hated that episode because but I was nitpicking. I definitely was nitpicking. Like little things bugged me. Like I know you didn't see this, Pat, but you know when what's his name?
He did watch it.
No, get this.
That's when he started.
I watched. So this is the funniest thing. I watched the first episode of Game of Thrones,
the last season,
and I watched the last 2 seasons of Game of Thrones. Yeah. So, and I'm like, doesn't make sense, guys. Kind of confusing. That's my biggest criticism.
Yeah.
You like the second to last season?
You know who I love? My favorite character. Who's my favorite character?
Cersei's.
Oh, that's
Cersei's. No. The best. She's like the coolest supervillain. That when she blew up that church, probably the best scene in TV history to me. Like they were like,
you sell me. That's the thing. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead. Sorry. You sell me on Game of Thrones after you explained my beautiful wife. What was she doing again?
Oh, she was like it was almost like a Darth Vader kind of moment. Like she was just like suiting her up in all her black armor and being the best villain. And
it was that when she was walking around naked and they were throwing tomatoes at her tits?
Oh, it wasn't that part, but that was
that was weird.
That was I was gonna get excited about it, but it was weird. They were like spitting at her.
Yeah, that was pretty rough.
Yeah, she got him though. She got him all back.
Yeah, she did. Oh, yeah, she did.
She was. I felt bad for her then. She was a really nice character, and she was really heartfelt. She was. Beautiful.
I hated that they gave that to her.
That they gave her that moment.
That she got to die with him.
Oh no, but that whole moment was lame. Like,
yeah.
And then how what's his name? I'm so bad with their names, but the little dude. Tyrion. He just goes down there and finds the hand.
Yeah.
He's like, it's all the rubble of a whole gigantic castle.
Yeah.
Oh, there's this golden hand at the top of the rubble.
Yeah. Real convenient.
Yeah, I hated that. I hated the fight, like some scenes of that like fight. I hated when it was like little details that just didn't make sense. Like the dude who loved Khaleesi, not John. Their names all escaped.
Yeah.
That was he wasn't he like a general or something like that?
Yeah,
like she was the one that told me about that.
Like her
and he had a stone hand
protector. Yeah.
When the thing that bugged me is when he rode up with the Dothraki at the beginning, like they all rode up together, like we're gonna go get the great, and they were all on fire. And you see all their fire go out, and he's out there with them, and all the fire goes out. All the White Walkers are out there. And he somehow just makes it back to have that last stand with Khaleesi. It's like, oh, he died 10 seconds into this episode. Like, he should be gone.
Yeah.
Be gone.
It's little nitpicky stuff, and I know, and I couldn't recreate that. Like I don't have the skills, so I understand that. But the show was so precise,
right,
from like the first season up until that season.
Yeah.
The little holes are like.
And the other thing too is that book hasn't been written yet.
Yeah.
So like they're off script. I mean, I'm sure they're plenty off script because they went way off script with True Blood. Like the first episode or second episode, I'm like, yeah, that person died already. Like, and you just let them live, and they lived until like
But those books were already written. They just
Oh,
went a
yeah,
different
yeah,
way.
yeah.
Okay, so look, I'm wondering if like I wonder if they did like a Sonic the Hedgehog thing here,
Sonic the Hedgehog.
where they're like they put out like the last season of Game of Thrones. They're like, this is how we're ending it, and they're like, this is bullshit, and they're like, yeah, that's bullshit. That would be crazy if we had that for
And then the
book,
fans
right?
just write it for the
Like,
book.
this is nothing. What are you talking about?
That's genius, actually.
Yeah.
That'd be great. That'd be great if they just like came out like that's not actually how it ended. That was the
Yeah.
show's
Tesla,
movie
they
that did
But that
accused
I'm sure
Tesla
that's
of
gonna
that.
sell a ton more books because they're like, okay, this is the ending we got here. What are they gonna do differently here?
Yeah, and
I'm sure
people
that sold
don't
tons of
read
books.
would buy those books. Like at least get the audio book at the very least. You get the
I
audio
tried.
book.
No.
Yeah.
I did both. So I got the book, and
Yeah.
then the first chapter, it's like reading the Bible. So it's like the son of this person, the son of this person, and the Lord of this. And I'm like, fuck that. I was like,
Yeah.
I'll do the audiobook.
With
And then
those thou art.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
I'm just like, now I can't listen to this. I'm just gonna watch the show. Fuck it. Because a friend of ours, they read the books, and so they were like, oh, the show's coming out. It's awesome. You should read the books. And that's when we were like, there's lots of boobs in it. Just watch it. Like, even if you don't like, because like with Pat, he can tolerate Harry Potter. For me,
I respect Harry Potter.
yes.
Okay.
But like Lord of the Rings, which I love Lord of the Rings, he does not.
You don't like Lord of the Rings? I can't get on board. Wait, so you can get on board with Harry Potter, but not Lord of I've seen one
Yeah.
Harry Potter. I've seen the first 3 Lord of the Rings. I guess I didn't watch the Hobbits and all of that. But
The Hobbits are like more movie, like they're more action packed than Lord of the Rings. There's not a big build because the Hobbit's only one book.
If I may, I am a huge Star Wars fan. You know why? I'm a fan of the laser.
okay.
So when you get when you get Harry Potter, you get the sorcery, you get all the things and all that stuff, but you also get civil unrest. You get things. You get like there's like it's almost like X-Men kind of. You get like legislation. There's like a committee of people that are like, we're intolerant and all this shit. And you're like, no, we're gonna fight your intolerance. And what comes out of their pens? Lasers.
So you need the lasers.
You need that last little bit. Yeah.
But there's a force lightning in
Lord of the Rings.
Lord of the Rings. Yeah. Force lightning out the stick.
Uh-huh.
Gandalf.
Yeah.
I need a nice laser. I need
Yeah,
it.
And there's dragons.
cut it.
And there's dragons, and there's trolls, and there's orcs. Is that what are they called?
And there's like a
Or
hot
dog
dude with
monsters.
white hair.
Yeah.
Hot dude with white hair. Hair great with bows.
Oh yeah, the elves.
The
Yeah,
elves.
Yeah.
So much. So much.
I don't like the long flowing white hair on women, and I don't like it on men.
Huh.
That's so strange.
I'm a funky
I'm
hair
across
color
the board.
guy.
Huh?
I'm a funky hair color guy across the board. Like
She was talking about that. She's like, I want to color my hair gray. And I was like, just give it time. You're married to me.
We won't have to pay for it. It'll happen naturally. Oh, very soon. Very, very soon.
So yeah, like
yeah,
so you like the Lord of the Rings. You just
the
don't
first
like
3, the original trilogy. I didn't go past that, but the first 3 were my shit.
So you like the sorcery. I see that. And that's the thing. I have a weird.
I like the journey.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes, exactly. And that's why I like Ozarks. And I
'Cause
was
it's a
telling him
journey?
this because it's so character building. So then you get to know the characters so well that when they make decisions, you go, "Oh, that makes sense."
Like
Okay,
you would do
nice.
that. Yeah, when I was last in Ozark, it was just the main character. I think was the little girl and just Jason Bateman. I can't remember. Oh, and it wasn't there like a cop next door.
Yeah, I can't honestly. I haven't watched the first season so long. I can't remember.
Yeah,
But
ask me about season
in the
2
past.
of
We've
Breaking
learned.
Bad. Like I'll go like, oh
we
yeah,
have
hold on,
grown.
give me a second.
We have grown from the first season. We made our mistakes, and we just don't look back. That's all.
All right.
Are you talking about us?
No, I'm talking about Ozark. I just relate to it.
Okay,
So
they got y'all were going through a rough patch.
Quarantine's hard.
It's real hard. We need to start watching Harry Potter.
The thing that we've been lucky with is like we had video games come out that we were both looking forward to right at this time.
Oh, that's perfect.
Julia was really looking forward to Animal Crossing, and I was looking forward to like Resident Evil and shit. So it's like things that come out that it's like we can just separate.
You have an outlet. Yeah.
whole separate fantasy world or whatever to get
Mm-hmm.
into. And I don't know. I've been trying to learn things. I've been doing all the free trials I can get. I did free Photoshop trial.
Oh,
Awesome. That's a really
and
good idea.
and I did I'm gonna do free like Adobe Premiere. I think I like photography, but I'm scared to get into photography because
why?
I don't trust myself. I think if I got good at photography, like if I could do it,
Uh-huh.
I would be a creep. I would just start being one of those guys looking for women who are like aspiring models. Like, hey, I got a camera and I can Photoshop. We can
Yeah, I got
make
this
you
couch.
famous.
I got this
I
couch.
can
Hold on,
make
let me let me set up the camera real quick.
Yeah. Yeah, so I'm just gonna not do that one. I
Yeah.
gotta.
Sorry, she doesn't. Let me explain that. She actually, I don't think understands what I'm talking about. There's a porno. There's a there's a
There's a very popular subgenre of porn called the casting couch.
yeah. It's
Oh,
like
okay,
a
okay.
guy who like he's like a total creeper dude. Like he like you know, like the guy that's like he's like fit, but he's like kind of fat too. Like he
Yeah.
probably smells like Miller Lite. You know what I mean? But
He
like he's
definitely
like
smells like Miller Lite.
well to do enough. Like the place smells nice and all that stuff. Like almost too clean, like
Yeah.
bleachy clean. Because
Mhm.
you're like, oh,
There's like only one plant and a lamp in the room.
yeah,
and
Yep.
you know
a
what I mean.
couch.
Yep.
And then there's cameras set up all over the place, and they like come up and they go like, "Oh, so you're interested in modeling in our calendar?" And they're like, "Yeah." And then it ends up, you know, they have sex on the couch, and
Yeah.
then there's some terrible part of it that he makes it even more awful for her. It's really wonderful.
I'm glad that you both know that very well.
I think casting is like it's one of them. If you go on a porn site, it's like one of those that's on the front page always. Like
Yeah,
if
yeah.
you never like 1 out of 10 times, it'll be there. It's
Yeah.
one of those you're forced to learn.
It's just forced to find
If you're worth your salt in pornography viewing.
Yeah, I don't watch porn.
We were just I was just the clip of us at doing the show at the art gallery. No, was that I think the art gallery. It was we did the teachers. No, it was us. It was us. It was me, Kirk, and Lemaire for that one, and then we also did one like internet models or something like that.
The show. It was when they were doing it was called The Show, right?
The show, yeah.
Yeah. I remember that was fun.
Yeah.
I found the clip of that somewhere too recently where it's just me saying immediate dick pic. Like that's all I say in the whole clip is
Yeah.
I think it's from that. I think
Yeah,
it's from
probably.
The show. I don't remember.
But that was a lot of fun.
Those are the best times, man.
Yeah.
The freight train days.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I forgot all about that. Yeah, that was a good time.
I never got it. It's over by this point.
Yeah.
But I never even got it. I never got it before it was over.
Yeah, you know who reached out to me like to
Logan Gleason.
Yeah.
Oh, I just thought of him. Did he die?
No, he just got married.
Married, yeah, he just got married.
Did he? Is that like the same?
When he told me, he's like, I was like, how are you, man? He was like, I just got married, so I'm not cool anymore. I'm getting used to it though. He's like,
I'm telling you, I think I felt that. Like I just out of nowhere thought of him recently, and I was just like, man, I wonder what's going on with Logan Gleason.
I was like, sales now.
He's in sales.
Yeah, remember he was working for like a TV station, I think. At the
Yeah.
But yeah, I think he's like in sales now. He was saying,
hell yeah,
he was so funny.
Yeah, he was.
He had like it was this
not anymore though.
Really good storytelling.
Yeah,
like he had. Well, now that he's married, probably doesn't have as many. So I don't know how crazy he goes.
He must have forgot all those.
But
stories
he had
that
some
he had.
crazy fucking stories.
Yeah, he used to be so good. He's one of those that definitely shouldn't have. I mean, but he wasn't digging it, so I guess.
Yeah, whatever.
Having fun, whatever, right?
Yeah. And I mean, he was in college, so that's a lot of what happens is you're in college, you try it out, you like it, and then you're like, okay, well,
yeah,
I don't have the energy to pursue this.
Yeah.
You go to the couch, you go like, yeah, this is pretty cool. I like modeling, and you're like,
I mean, you're like, oh, I have to take a bunch of pictures. I just want to have
okay, yeah, I'll try it out. Yeah, all right.
Double,
double, $50.
You go $36 now.
That's so funny that you asked, like you were thinking that, and my first thought was Logan Gleason. Like that was my first. I was like, yeah, it's got to be him.
It's got to be who else would
Gotta
it
be
be?
him.
There will be excitement. That's like well, it'd be a couple. I think if like who it was so many people back in the day that were cool. I wouldn't care if Ryan hit me up.
No, I wouldn't have the number saved, so I wouldn't know who it was.
I didn't have Logan's number saved. He didn't have the same number. He just reached out to me with like a picture of me. He texted me with a picture of me with like 6 hats on.
Yep.
He's like, I want to say it's Photoshop. I'm just like, who is this? Like,
Who is this?
How did you get this number?
I assumed
so
it was
funny.
like it's either him or it would have been like Kyle Works. I don't know, but it was a Lancaster number, so I was like, I don't know who it would have been. It wasn't gonna be Ryan hitting me up. Like
That's a cool cool distinction, and that's like a test of a true friendship. Like if you if you can text one image and somebody would know, like at least to narrow it down to be able to go like, oh, it's these 3 people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and who would be funny enough to text this out of nowhere?
Yep.
I know what I mean?
Knew it was him when I just still asked who it was.
Oh,
Like,
yeah,
this is
yeah.
definitely this is who this is.
Right. And I know who and it's funny too, because I know exactly what I can text you at any point, at any day, from any number, and you would know it was me.
There's like
I want to know.
I have 2 things. I think I have 2. Can I guess them? I want to guess the 2. I think it is.
Okay,
One is you would treat me like a ghost in some fashion.
Yep.
And then the other one would be a tugboat.
Yep.
Those are it? Did I get it?
Yeah. Because that was my distinction. That's the only level I got to in freight train status. I don't know if there were any other tugboats. Like you guys never mentioned that.
No, I think you might be the only.
So that's pretty cool. I mean, that's got to be like a record or something, right?
What's the ghost one? I don't.
Because he's dead. Because
I was dead.
Oh, that's right. That's
When
right.
I was
Yes.
dead. Like any group chat we had, like you were just like, guys, is there a ghost in here?
Did you guys hear that? What was that? Anytime you would send a message, like seriously, I swear to God, I just heard something. Was that like, did somebody open a window?
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
I remember you telling me about that.
I was talking to Andy about this. When we were actually, you couldn't hear it, but when we were streaming playing Rocket League, like the reason, like my favorite people in comedy and the people that I will have on any show, like if you ever said like if you needed anything comedy wise, if you wanted to do anything comedy wise, you asked me to do anything comedy, like I trust all of you guys because I love and respect and will always work for any price for anybody that's down for a fucking bit.
Yeah,
down to be silly.
Mm-hmm.
You're always down for, like, you get, like, it's at this point, it's the running joke at this point for that of you being dead to me, or you being a ghost or something like that. It's just the weirdest, like, at this point, like
like
it's just
4 years.
But the six hat Marshall, like, I know that joke, but like I'm not close enough to it that I couldn't, you know what I mean? That's not one of my things.
Yeah.
That's like a friendship totem.
Yeah.
We have our friendship totems. I send you a ghost emoji, and you're like, "Oh, was this Pat?" Like you would send that. Like
still dead to Pat.
Yep. Good to know, buddy.
As soon as I moved, I was dead to you. I don't even remember if I did anything. If it was just my absence.
Yeah, it's just the fact that you weren't there.
Yeah, it's because you moved to New Jersey.
Yeah.
That's fine. I was dead to the world.
Yeah. We're all just like, all right, fine. And then Andy left, and then it was like, fuck. And then LeVar left.
Andy, I forgive you, man.
I don't think he was ever dead to you.
No, not even a little bit. No, he's great. Love Andy. Felt terrible.
My favorite running joke that we started, I still tell Andy his dad isn't his dad. Did Pat ever tell you about that? When we were in at Andy's place for his was it the bachelor party day?
It was like when we were pre-gaming, I think.
Yeah.
Or, was it before? Yeah, it was before.
It was before.
Yeah.
And because I don't think we went back in after. I think we maybe for a second and then hotbox or whatever. But
yeah.
But so we were looking at the picture of Andy and his brother and his dad, like all separately, these separate pictures. And Andy and his brother look I'm not Andy and his brother. Andy's dad and Andy's brother look exactly alike.
Yeah, exactly alike.
doesn't look anything like either of them. Like not one feature other than maybe a round head. That's more mom shape than their dad's shape.
Yeah.
So
that could be like a
since
birth defect that's just shared. That's all that it's going to be. It could be anything.
So since then, like, and I'm not convinced.
Oh no, poor Andy.
But every time he says to me, like, like if we're on our podcast, something about like his dad, like, yeah, so my dad, the such is like, you met him? You probably.
Oh my God, you met your dad?
That's awesome.
There was a long running joke we had on for Proper Ebonics that like or even like in the group chat for that, and then it kind of bled onto the show a little bit. Like I'm not on mic with that one so much.
Yeah.
But they say like the joke was like Alan, like his kids. Yeah, sure, because we never saw his kids.
Yeah.
And we're like, sure, yeah, you got kids, right? Okay. For like the longest time, you're like, Alan's alleged kids, coming over, and like we just like it would always be with quotation marks or like in a wink, like, okay, yeah, sure.
Has he ever posted them anywhere? Because I do know he has them, but I've never seen them. That's probably for the best.
Yeah, I think it is.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not actually like, it's not like a birth certificate thing. Like, it's not like, show me your birth certificate. Show me your children. I need proof.
Yeah, if he gets successful, you don't want the world to know what your kids look like. That's only trouble.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, especially two girls.
Oh, your little daughters? Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah.
He's doing
Their
right
ages are no. Social security number.
They actually live, and here's the picture. You just
yeah, we put.
Hold on, let me turn on share screen real quick. I'll go to their Facebook page.
Oh my God.
Oh yeah, that's the coolest fucking thing about the Zoom shit. I'm getting off track, but the share screen.
No, it's what we started talking about. Even like the hiring a robot. Like, are you scared? Like, so what's your biggest fear from the Rona so far? Like, what do you think? Like
talking about like post Rona?
Yeah, like going forward, what do you think this is going to be? What do you think like after this? Because like you said, it hasn't really changed too much. Like for some of us, like there's people there is a group.
Were you still working, or were you just doing comedy?
I was walking dogs for my day job.
Okay.
So no,
I walk one dog right now. I have one person who just lets me come and walk their dog.
Oh,
They're there.
That's good.
just like a guy in a dog mask and a whip.
He is just never mind. I couldn't think of anything goofy enough fast.
Also, he listens, so I don't want to jeopardize it. He is paying me right now.
It's like a couple, like a husband and wife, and the yeah, that's all. Just they're cool.
Nice.
I bring them wheat butter.
Yeah. Awesome. That's very cool.
And we're cool.
That's the thing. The essential things that have been named are all career paths I've thought of or career paths I'm currently in. So it's like
it's like we matter now.
I love this. Like the apocalypse. I had a joke actually that I was trying I was like working on like before, like in the before times. And I was like, I said, I want to be useful in the apocalypse. And I'm like, holy shit, I'm not just useful. I'm fucking essential, bitch.
Essential.
Yeah.
2 times over.
Yeah.
2 times over. What's that mean?
Like the podcaster, part-time barista.
Uh-huh.
I dabble in medicine.
You definitely. My weed is starting to hit me, so I'm like, now I'm just getting real focused. I was like, all right, so let me know, but I don't know. I'm not doing much. I'm hanging out. I'm professional hanging out guy now. So I've been excelling at that.
Do you do do you have like audio when you normally play video games? Do you have like a headset that you usually try, or do you guys do audio over the Zoom if you like play with
Andy? Me and Andy play? We only played twice, I think. We played like Apex once, and we just did the regular like PlayStation headset, and then when we played together on Rocket League.
Yeah, that Rocket League is a lot of fun.
It is.
I think she would be good at it.
It's tough when you see people. This is just me about to be a game nerd and insult you guys.
Go for
it.
Do it.
We're the worst at, like, when you see people who are really like actually good at Rocket League, it looks ridiculous. Like cars they're not on the ground. They're just like flying. When you're good, you don't touch. It's like you touch the ground, but it doesn't even look like the same thing. It's like when you watch people at the park play basketball, and then you look at the NBA. Like it's a whole different type of person.
I've come to appreciate, because I could never understand like the phenomenon with kids watching people play video games.
Yeah.
I'm like, why is this a thing? It's crazy. And then now he's playing a lot more video games, and then I'll just come up and hang out and watch him, and he'll be like, you want to play? And I'm like, yeah, and I'll play a little bit, but he's better at it. And I'm like, I like watching him play the video game because he's way better at it than me. Oh, wow. And I was like, I get it. A lot better.
It's like crazy, like little things people are figuring out to do, like entertainment wise, outside of this. Like I saw this thing on YouTube. This couple blew up over like a year, because, and what you just said made me think of it. It's a YouTube channel. It's just called Girlfriend Reviews, and what it is it's what she reviews what it's like to live with someone who's playing this game. Instead of like a review on like how good the game is, it's like this is what she'll hear a bunch, and it's like, you know, just like if it's a shooting game, just like you'll hear a bunch of this, and she'll play like a really good, well edited way, and it's like now you got this a super successful YouTube channel off of the idea of what it's like being in the room with, like it's such a it's things to do, it's things to still do in this thing,
and that's why it's so cool, because you can just do whatever. Like, who cares? You've got nothing but time. Try it out. It may work, it may not work, and then you just come out of this even better than when you started.
Yeah. Do you think your life, like are you, what's your big, like, what do you think what do you think it's going to be affect you most going forward? Like, because you said like,
well, definitely comedy.
Yeah. Sure. But the thing, and I'm not sure how it's going to. That's what I think about the most, like comedy. But I'm not sure how it's going to affect it, because the thing. Did you ever see that article that Roy Wood put out about comedy, like when it first started?
No, actually, no. I heard about it, but I didn't read it, because I think at that point it was obviously a liberal media hoax at that time still. I think this is my conspiracy theory. It was a hoax at some point, but then somebody really happened. Somebody did weaponize it because they gave them the idea. It's actually ISIS. So
what did the letter say?
It was basically saying like the part that stood out to me the most is just like the trickle down to comedy, just like like because even after this, it's not like the people who were doing theaters or stadiums are going to be able to go back
where everything goes down as
So now I don't know if bar shows will be affected by that, or small club spots or anything like that, but maybe like you might have the dude who was featuring now MCing, and the MC is back to micing to get on the stage or whatever.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I asked him how he was doing, because I know like how he's feeling about jujitsu. He's very vocal about not being able to do it, but he hasn't been so much with comedy. And he said because everybody's in the same boat, so it doesn't feel like you're missing out because nobody's doing comedy, but you also do get to stretch that muscle by doing podcasts and like streaming on Twitch and stuff.
And there's a lot less people actually doing that, like Twitch and podcasting and shit. So then you feel better than them. Like, oh, you ain't doing shit.
Yeah. So now you're going to surpass the people that were just above you. You're going to be like, bitch.
come back ahead of them.
Yep.
The thing I wish I could do more of during all of this is write like more jokes, but it's tough.
What are you doing? What are you experiencing?
Exactly. You know? And everybody's going to come out with coronavirus jokes.
Yeah. So it's you really got to like. You have to have a different perspective.
That's a great point.
Sorry, I'll tell you my corona take. This is my corona take. I was like, here's my corona bit.
Yeah, go for it.
It's just that it's the worst thing about this is that it's harder to get off the phone with people now, because it's not like I gotta go. Usually, all right, I gotta go. You like get off and say you're gonna go do something, but now you just gotta be like, I'm done talking to you.
Gotta go.
Gotta go. This conversation has run its course, and we are finished. And that was it. That was my only.
No, that's so good. That happened. We were talking today for like work. We were on a Zoom call, or yesterday, whatever day, and they were like, "Oh, we're gonna do happy hour."
Oh,
and
they did that.
Yeah, and they were like, "Okay, what time?" And everyone's like real quiet, and they're like, "Well, nobody's got really anything going on," but like nobody wanted to commit to it.
Yeah.
So everyone's just kind of like, "But you're not doing anything else, so what's the excuse?"
How do you like those? Do you like doing work happy hours, or like not real life work happy hours? Those are fun, but I mean like Zoom
Oh,
work happy
like
hour.
those. No,
Nah.
well, yeah,
It's all right. I mean,
it's
better
fun,
than
but it's not
nothing.
like it's not like you said. You're not doing anything else.
Yeah,
It's literally better than doing nothing.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Julia's job did one, and she tried to like really commit to the idea. She was telling me I wasn't in the room, obviously, but like she was saying that she was like, "Hey guys, happy hour," and held up her drink, and no one else was drinking. Like everybody else was like, we're not drinking." And she just was
Oh
like,
no, no. Everybody, we did one last weekend and it was okay, but
It's
it was just
cool.
it's what sucked is it's the people that I wouldn't usually hang out with.
yeah, yeah.
So it was just kind of like it was just a little awkward at first, but somebody figured out games.
Yeah, the
So
game
you
time.
could do games through Zoom. So we did. So there was like a trivia game. Then we did
That's
a
what
drawing
I was
game
talking
and like
about.
guessing.
That's not so bad.
So
Yeah, no, that sounds cool.
That was actually fun because we didn't have to have conversation. Like it felt more organic. Like
Yeah.
because it's really awkward. And then the other thing that I was kind of not upset about, but it was just my boss was on it too.
So you guys couldn't like
So
really.
Dawn loves dropping hard R's whenever she can. If the boss is there, you know, she can't.
No,
she's limited.
And I love my boss. Like it's not that, but
Aren't
it just
you like the boss.
I do.
I mean, you were like, no, I'm saying, aren't you like the boss? I thought.
Oh
you were
yeah,
like
yeah. This
top.
is the same my peers, so other
Yeah,
bosses.
Yeah. Okay.
So it's the district manager.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
she was in on it, and
Yeah.
so and she's fine. Like she's cool. It's like she's not uptight or anything, but it just does make it a level of like we need to be slightly professional. If she wasn't here,
drunk.
we would be like, you know, chugging and like whatever. But
that's my thing is I've been trying to, like you said, like everybody's gonna have their Corona take and stuff like that. Like I've been trying to, like, as much as I can, as much as possible, whenever I get even a kernel of thought that's not a Corona related joke.
Yep.
Like I was just putting clothes away, and like you said, like I'm trying to wear more flattering, like I want to look good.
Yeah.
Get compliments.
Yeah, I'm glad you said that, man, because there's people who aren't doing that. And
right.
I think that's like a good thing to have in your home. Like if you're at home, you don't want to just be a slob.
Yeah.
But why somebody's got to look at you like I'm just same T-shirt as last Monday. Like,
yeah. I did three podcasts in one day, and each one of them I changed my shirt. Nice. I think I wore like a hat for one of them. Like I was just like, I was like, I wanted it to look like it was a completely different day.
Yeah.
Like that's one of those things. It's like, I don't know. I notice that stuff. So if I notice
well, I'm sure that makes you feel better. Like if you are wearing the clothes that you woke up in.
Yeah.
Like that does something to you psychologically.
Yeah. I mean, and the person watching it probably like,
yeah.
Because then if they're like, if somebody's like, I'm into this, I'm really into these podcasts.
Right. Yeah.
I will say these podcasts.
I'm a Pat Rooser. I was putting away shirts, and I was like, I realized I came to the realization during this quarantine that there is no such thing as a overshirt.
As an overshirt.
That's just a shirt that doesn't fit. Fat guys created the overshirt. It has buttons for a reason. It's supposed to close.
But you feel like it doesn't, so this is my overshirt.
And I brought it up to Dom, and she was just like, no. And I was like, no, it's supposed to close. I was like, this shit, you bought a 2X shirt. You didn't buy a 2X overshirt. You bought a shirt that doesn't fit, and you need to buy a 3X.
There's no like tab on Gap when you're looking through the categories. It's like hoodie, T-shirt,
that's not a
overshirt.
Section.
Yeah, there it is.
That's not a selection, and you're like, you can't. Where's the overshirts? Like, what are you talking about? The shirts that don't fit over there in children's.
for you, they're in the 2Xs.
Yeah, go to those 2X right over there. Yeah, but like I've been trying to write jokes, like still, like like within like just like normal like jokes.
Yeah,
like, still,
yeah.
It's like
that's not
as much
Corona.
as because it's hard not to write Corona themed jokes, but also you're literally not experiencing anything outside from new things.
Yeah,
really.
Are you worried about coming? I'm worried about. I think it's all personal though. Like I shouldn't give a fuck, but I'm worried about like when it does start again, doing my old jokes. Like for some reason they feel all dumb. Like they're like
insignificant.
It's like all of that didn't matter. But the thing I thought was was important and doesn't matter, and I don't know.
Yeah, but I would
Go
just do it. I would just do it and see how it goes, because it may be a relief to other people. Like,
to
yeah,
not
maybe
hear
it's not.
Corona.
Yeah, and maybe it you may not feel like, oh, this is significant, but it's like, hey, I'm out of the house and you're funny.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
it may be for a while that you guys just work on stuff that works. That way
yeah.
people are like, oh, this was fun. Yeah, we're gonna do this again.
I just had a great time. Didn't think about Corona and once, even though I should have around all those people. But
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
I'm not. I was talking to, I think it was my brother today. This is my expert theory on coronavirus. Is I think it's just the flu that's more contagious. It's just the more contagious flu.
It's just another one. They say it gets stronger every year, and that happened again, and it's bad. You know.
I think the publicity of it all really fucked everything up. I think like they just
Wait, the virus had a bad publicist, and that's why why it got out of hand.
Yeah, it just got way out of hand. It was like, all right.
They say any publicity is good publicity, but I don't like this. This is not good press. You shut China down, bro. We need.
Well, there's
China.
other flus that do more damage than this, and we haven't shut the world down. So it's just like it got blown out of proportion.
Yeah, it was one of those like.
And then there was no going back. It was just like, hey, everyone's scared, so we need to just deal with this because there's no turning this around now.
I was already on edge because the the gym was shut down, but then I made the mistake. I told her, I've said it a million times. I made the mistake of telling her, like, I was excited about UFC 249, and then they're just like, 15 minutes later, they canceled it, and I was like, "You fucking kidding me?"
You thought it wasn't going to get canceled because they canceled that late, but
they did because they didn't.
WrestleMania.
Yeah, he really thought because they did WrestleMania.
Oh, that they were going to do like a similar thing.
Yeah,
like,
and the fight
there.
And the fight before that, was it in Brazil? They didn't do. They didn't have
buried a guy.
Well, there was another UFC fight that happened, and they didn't have an audience, but they did it still in the octagon in the arena, so it was a little weird. But they still did it, so it made sense. That one happened.
I clenched her up as soon as I could.
I think I think UFC is one of the sports that, I mean, I guess outside of the dudes maybe getting sick, it is one of the ones that I think could go on. Like basketball would be real weird with no crowd, and wrestling, because wrestling, the pop is what like makes it cool. Like that's part of the performance of it. But like UFC is like two dudes. It's not. I mean, it's an art form. Don't get me wrong. It's not like not an art, but it's like you're also in there like. I don't know. You fight.
It never matters about the other people.
Yeah,
to them, it's always
survival.
That.
Like you're just in there.
Yeah. I guess after the fight, you'll talk to shit like.
Yeah, you want to be like, yeah, I did it.
And I'm sure like being in an arena gives you so much adrenaline that makes the fight more exciting. Because they're like way more amped up. But it's still, you would have millions of people watching. It's still, and nothing else is happening, so everyone's going to watch this. Even if they're not into UFC, it's just like a live sporting event. Let's just watch it.
It's gonna be so good.
The Pat said they're like got an island, or they're
island.
Yeah, they're trying to figure it out that they can send healthy fighters to this island, and they're
that's like Mortal Kombat.
Yeah,
I know. That's what they were saying. Yeah, I was like, holy shit, it is. I've been preparing my whole life for this. Bloodsport.
Defeat him.
Can we watch Bloodsport?
That's coming on.
Hold on a second.
Oh, finish him.
It's
sorry.
finish him.
Shit, here we go.
Wait, what did you say?
Defeat him.
Hold on, I'm gonna cover up the camera real quick.
Oh God.
No, you got to do the quick stop video. It just
exactly.
You just go. Sorry, man.
I'm sorry, Nate, but I'm like rubbing my face.
Yes.
So anyway, Nate, do you like UFC at all? Or, is the computer over this way, or the light?
Oh, that's great.
That's perfect.
No, I was pissed off until I understood, and I heard the explanation that made the most sense to me was not that the guys would get sick or not, but if the fighters go to the hospital afterwards, and most of them do, especially if the other one was more successful than the other one, a lot more, like with elbows or, again, with the clinch and the knees and the face and stuff like that, they're going to go and put more strain on hospitals wherever they are. Like they have to go to the hospital to get checked out. So I don't know if Fight Island's going to have its own thing. And then people are going to be
I would
like,
assume so.
they're taking medical people from other facilities that can help at other. And it's like, at some point I need violence. I need real legitimate violence in my life somehow. And it's never going to come out of me.
I'm getting a little nervous. I might not wake up. So this is recorded.
I threw one of the cats down the stairs. One of the cats. It wasn't even the cat that I liked that much.
I was about to ask y'all a thing, but I don't know if it's okay.
Please,
y'all
whatever it is.
Are y'all still smoking?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Are y'all all right? I just because you was all the anger. I was like, maybe Pat's not smoking, and that's why so violent.
No.
It's more of it's kind of a thing of like it's. I'm fine with like all of the other things. Like I said, the not having another outlet, like the comedy thing, the not being able to perform, that sucks. But I have done without that before. I grew up in Florida and I couldn't always get a ton of stage time anyway. So I wasn't used to a ton of stage time a lot for a while. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's been parts of, but like jujitsu was the thing where like consistently for a year, pretty much.
Monday through Friday?
Multiple times a week. Yeah. Almost
it's like
every other day.
That's your release. Like, whereas stand-up and stuff is more like a job that you enjoy, but that is more of like a career, and that's a job. And jujitsu is a hobby, and it's like you get to just not think.
There's no physical exertion for comedy. Yeah. There's no like,
and that's endorphins. Like that's why people get addicted to working out. It creates endorphins, and you get addicted to that.
You feel good. You feel better, like a better person, like a better human being. Like that version of you has now leveled up or whatever.
Yeah. Right. Like, and now he needs it. And I'm just like, I don't give a fuck. I started going to the gym 3 weeks before this all happened. So, and I was enjoying it, but I didn't do it enough that I was like, oh, I'm addicted. I gotta do this. Yeah. No.
I started going to the gym after I was going to the jujitsu gym. Like I was going like 2 times a day because I was just like, I really enjoy that kind of, again, like the physical exertion and shit like that. So like a lot of the things like those things, and I understand that those are luxuries.
Yeah.
You can get physical exertion if I just go outside.
Yeah.
I'm fine playing video games. I want to stay in and as much of my routine as possible, eating the cheeseburgers, eating 2+ chicken sandwiches at a time.
Yeah.
Things like that.
And not having the extra guilt, a little bit of guilt.
Just had 16 Korean fried chicken wings.
Sounds great.
Oh, great. Delicious.
Where's that from? Bonchon? Is that Bonchon?
No, it's called The Coop.
Oh.
It's a really good place.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
It is
why don't you, I guess we'll close up the show. Why don't you tell people where they can find you? Panties in the Mouth podcast, right?
Panties in the Mouth podcast with Andy Malfarina. I have another podcast called the Devil Tree podcast with Alex Grubar, and my Instagram is that Nate Marshall, and my Twitter is that Nate. I have a website too, but I'm not updating it. There's no shows.
And also officially dead. I think like 4 years ago.
About 4 years. I've been dead for 4 years now.
Yeah. And honestly, it's brave. It's really brave of you to come out and say that, and I really respect that.
Wait, one thing before we end. How are y'all feeling? I'm sorry. I'm just
no, you're good.
But how are y'all thinking? Like, I'm gonna be so mad if people are still getting like mad at political correct shit or not political correct shit once this is over. I feel like if you like try to tell me my words made you mad after the corona, after we were all in the house from a pandemic, I'm just gonna want to throw up on you. Like, just
that's what I've been saying.
Voluntarily.
We were talking about it again. Like I was saying, how being a double essential. I have experienced situations where, somebody was complaining in a customer service fashion, and I go like,
yeah,
and it was a really comforting thing because it kind of went up and like it was that response was approved by pretty much every level above me.
It was like it was fine. Like
You know what I mean? Like everybody saw it, and everybody was like, "Yeah, you know what? Yeah, okay." You know what I mean? So and that's the one thing I told her. I was like, it's wonderful to not hear about somebody being. I know all the news is terrible. People are dying, and it's like it's.
But it actually matters, it's like, oh, this is real news. Like it sucks that it's all consuming, but it is kind of a lot better than being, somebody is being canceled because they.
I have verbalized that. Somebody. I have verbalized the fact that I have noticed it's so refreshing to not have the being offended as a legitimate beef right now. Like we put a. Is it really?
I still see people do it. It's not getting news. It's not getting news words.
Is it with the Louis thing?
Well, see, my thing is I am very nervous being a business owner and managing people because now I have to manage emotions. So if a customer loses their shit about something trivial, I also have to put into account we're in the middle of a pandemic, they're stressed, you don't know what's going on with them, but at the same time, why are you complaining about this? We're doing our best. So it's gonna be a
perspective.
It's gonna be a constant I'm gonna have to kiss your ass because I feel bad, but then at the same time of trying to make my team be able to handle
people,
that.
Hating coming to work.
You know what I mean? Because it's just gonna make everything worse.
So it's not gonna be a health either.
No, really. right. We have to try to make the best out of the situation. And I think it's going to be very challenging in these times because we're all going to have everybody's perspective.
Yo, did you see Pat freaking out because of that ghost?
I don't know what was happening.
I sent the ghost over. I was like, get Pat.
Get him. Possess him.
Goddamn, get your spirits off me. Call them off.
But hopefully people are nice. My store's closed. My store doesn't open until May 4th. So I haven't really had to deal with it too much.
Oh, but you guys have an open date though.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Have there been any cases there? I have a friend who he's working in he's at Wawa now, and I think he just had a case at his location because
that sounds delicious.
Does it? Yeah. A case.
Was it pressed? Oh, wait, did you say quesadilla?
Quesadilla?
There's a quesadilla at Wawa, right? What was it? Was it it was pressed, right?
I think you're toasted.
Your friend had it though? Oh, did he have one of the
No,
bad
somebody
ones?
that he worked with.
Oh.
They just shut down for a day. They did a.
Well, that's what we had to do it before it was really bad. But somebody had symptoms, so they were tested, and we didn't get results. They were we're not going to know for a week, but because they're we're going to be overly cautious and we're going to close. So we closed for the day. They came in in hazmat suits and stuff and cleaned the whole store, and then we opened back up the next day, and then we closed the next day. Then they were you know what, because I'm right next to a hospital, so they opened up a testing site. You could see it from my store.
Okay.
So it was so close. They were it's going to bring everybody with symptoms right here, so we're just going to close you. But the government just stopped funding those sites, so because the levels have gone down. So they're getting rid of it, so now we can reopen. But but we still have to. I have to start making calls tomorrow to see who's willing to come back to work.
Yeah.
So we'll see, because if I don't have enough people, we won't open.
How long is the pain? You know what I mean? Boom, boom.
May 4th. May 4th is when they stop. Which has been great is they've paid us the whole time.
That's a good Star Wars day.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
May the 4th be us.
Yeah.
I may be forced to quit my job. I think everything's going to shift a little bit further back, depending how this thing all this stuff lands. As of right now, we are profiting. We are building a company on the backs of the dead.
Yep.
Over the corona.
We're gonna come out of this making money.
Well, we're trying not to be. We want to help people. So if we can help people, let us know. But also,
we'll send you coffee. Do you need coffee?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Do you really?
Yeah.
I get a free pound a week. Send me your address. We'll mail you some.
No, we'll drive it down.
I'm gonna text you guys right now, so I know you're not driving down to Jersey for the coffee,
I don't know
but
if
I
we're
will
allowed.
forget.
Do you
so
guys still have like armed guards at the borders and shit like that?
Did we ever have that? I wasn't.
Well,
know,
they
maybe.
weren't letting
New York maybe.
They
On the
they
other
weren't
side.
letting us because a bunch of Pennsylvanians went over to New Jersey because they closed all the liquor stores here.
Oh, yeah, we got
so
fined, bro.
they were they're like, you got a Pennsylvania license, but you can't come into Jersey and buy booze.
They
weren't selling it to us.
We also got we got the premium Zoom. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So maybe you and Zoom, you and you and Jules and Andy.
Yeah, we can have our own happy hour.
We'll have our own happy hour. We'll play board games. And
we can do house party. House party does apples to apples.
I've never played apples to apples.
It's fun.
How does that? What's apples to apples? How's that one work?
That it's like you have like a theme card, and then you have a deck of cards. So you want them to choose your card. So whoever chooses your card, then you win. You win that round. And usually it's whoever the judge is. So there might be somebody that like I usually pick things that are absurd.
Yeah.
That are funny, but some people only want what's actually correct. So you have to like essentially who's judging and how will they choose. But and it's hard to explain, but it's really easy and it's
more
fun.
Of an excuse, like we can just do something poorly while we talk and drink.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I'm down.
And she started a new podcast. Trauma Hood's going to be coming out pretty soon. We just got to get the artwork and everything for it. So yeah, we've been doing a lot, man. It's been a lot of fun, but I think there's a lot of positive that can come out of this.
Yeah,
I really haven't been focusing on a lot of the negative.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, for us.
Yeah, right. Yeah. For us,
somebody's grandma died. So
Oh yeah, exactly. Like I said, hey, and again, just like many of our politicians have said, old people are, they die. That's one of the things that they do. And it's one of those things that I don't condone it. I'm not for it.
You're not for the death of the elder?
I am not. I'm going right now on record, Nate Marshall.
It's a strong stand.
Also, that was another thing. That was another thing I thought of too. That would be fun, and I'm announcing it. You were the last one of the group, essentially, that I feel like I have to talk to about it. Maybe a State of the Fools at some point during this.
Oh yeah.
State of the Fools. That's where we just talk about what we're going through as fools.
A State of the Fools during quarantine. It's been a couple years since the last one that we've done, and we get Lemaire, you, me, Andy, maybe Chris if I feel like it. I don't know. It wasn't really ever a full. A
fool's fool.
A fool's fool?
Yeah, he was a fool's fool.
He was a fool's fool.
He was more like a tugboat of fools. Am I right? If you can't beat them, create your own thing and make yourself part of that thing.
Exactly. That's how we make friends.
I think Andy called you a tugboat. I'm not even gonna. I'm pretty sure you were like, I'm a freight train. He was like, you're more of a tugboat.
And we were like, yes, that's exactly it.
Stuck immediately.
It didn't help that I also looked almost exactly like Tugboat the wrestler at the time. I don't wear striped shirts anymore till this day. So.
That was the last time. You burned them all.
Thanks, Tugboat. All right, man. Thanks again for doing the show.
Thanks for having me, man.
Tell Jules we said hi.
I will.
Gross.